Hi, Steve Hansen with Hansen IP Law. You know, one thing a lot of people seem to be interested in is how do you protect slogans? You know, those catchy phrases you hear sometimes like Nike's "Just Do It" or Kentucky Fried Chicken's "Finger Licking Good," McDonald's "I'm Loving It." You know, how do you protect those? Well, the first thing to realize is that it's not going to be through patents. Patents are for inventions and also designs. And a slogan in and of itself is not going to qualify as a design, and especially won't qualify as an invention. So then how about copyright law? Well, it turns out that you can't protect slogans with copyright because you can't protect words and short phrases through copyright law because copyright is intended to protect works of expression. And it is thought that words and short phrases are not sufficiently expressive to qualify for protection. And we don't really want to let people own words and phrases outright because it would be essentially allowing them to own parts of the language, which could really impair communication. So that leaves trademark law. And yes, you can protect slogans with trademark law, but the thing you have to remember is that you're not protecting the slogan outright. You're protecting the use of the slogan in connection with goods or services. So there has to be some sort of goods or services you want to associate them with. Now, when people come up with slogans, you know, they often want to put them on like T-shirts or glasses or something like that. In fact, I have a friend who's a comedian, and he wanted to make some wine glasses with this slogan that he uses in his act. And you can definitely do that. The hitch is that when you put a slogan on a glass or on a T-shirt or something like that, it's actually serving two functions. It's functioning primarily as a decorative or ornamental feature, almost like a work of art, even though it's just words. And then the secondary function is as an identifier of source. It can identify the source of the T-shirt, so that when you see the T-shirt, you say that says "Just Do It," for example, you'll know it's from a particular source. But the problem is initially, the trademark office, if you go to register these marks, won't assume it's functioning as a source identifier. You're going to have to actually prove that the slogan has acquired distinctiveness and it is functioning as a source identifier. And you can do that if you've been using the mark in commerce. You can do that through advertising revenues. Dollars, how much you spent on advertising it, consumer surveys. If you've been using the mark continuously and exclusively in interstate commerce, you can submit proof of that to get the trademark office to concede that it is functioning as a trademark, that it's now acquired distinctiveness, and then you can, in fact, register it. So that's an issue whenever you want to put the slogan on a product where it's also sort of functioning as a work of art or a decorative feature. Now, one thing you can do to get your registration through more quickly without necessarily having to wait 5 years or prove, through the other means I mentioned that it's acquired distinctiveness, is to put the slogan not just on the product itself, but on a label or the packaging that the product is sold with. Because when it's on the label or packaging, you can't really argue that at least at that location it's functioning as a decorative feature. It's easier to say that, hey, at least at that location it's functioning as a source identifier. So you can put it on those locations, and then when you file your specimen of use, of course, make sure that you focus on the fact that the slogan is on the label or the packaging in your specimen of use, as opposed to relying on its presence on the shirt or on the glass itself. So that's a way to protect slogans. It's interesting because when a company comes with a slogan, the product line is usually something unrelated to things like T-shirts or glasses or anything like that. But because the slogan's so catchy, they want to sell it just on the T-shirt. And so it can become a very profitable thing to do if you come up with a phrase that takes off. And this is the way that you can use trademark law to protect it. Okay? Until next time, I'm Steve Hansen with Hansen IP Law.